Welcome to Loveable AF. I'm Grateful Sherry. So it is Body Love Thursday. Ooh, yeah, body love. I'm on a yoga ball. Let's just roll it out, people. Okay. So, I had somebody ask me, like, what do you do? And I was like, well, I coach, women entrepreneurs. I help them if they're not making the impact, the income, or, having the connections that they want in their life to create the life and the business that they're head over heels in love with, right? Like, that's what I do. And it was like, well, but I have a show called Loveable AF. And it's like, well, okay, why is like body love important to an entrepreneur, right? And what I got thinking back about was this. When I didn't love myself, I was proving all of these things about I was unlovable. And so, of course, anytime my business would actually start to go well, I would sabotage the crap out of it till it would blow up and then be like, oh, see, look, more proof that I'm unlovable. So for me, once I started to believe and know that I was lovable as fuck, just as I was, that's when things started to shift in my business, because I no longer blew up my business all the time to prove that I was unlovable. So that's why this conversation to me is so crucial, because not only was I blowing up my business, I was occasionally blowing up my relationship, I was screwing up as mom. We are talking the whole gambit, because I needed to prove that I was unlovable all the time. And doing that was essentially my life needed to look shitty a lot of the time. It needed to be hard. It needed to be sometimes like brutal, right? Like, that's how I needed to show up to prove it again and again and again and again. And so when I stopped doing that, that's when we finally had the system. That was when we finally started to make money. And I'm not at all saying like that we've always just, we've never had a low month or a lull or whatever, but it's totally different. It's not the same as blowing the whole thing up and having to start from scratch, right? And so with body love for me is so key. And today I wanted to talk about, I even did a post on this. Somebody else posted, it was from the, how you wish the giving tree would have been told, right? And it was this, in case you guys have never read The Giving Tree, essentially there's a little boy, there's a tree. The tree loves the boy. Unfortunately, I don't think the boy really loves the tree. But anyways, so basically the tree loves the boy, and the boy's like, oh, can I climb in your branches and play? And the tree's like, yay, and is happy, right? And then the boy goes away, and the boy comes back, and he wants food. And she's like, here, take all my apples. He takes all the apples, right? Like, he ends up cutting down the tree to build stuff, and basically it turns into a stump. So then by the time he's old, it's only a stump. And, the tree's only happy when it's giving the boy everything. All of its fruit, all of its leaves, all of its branches, literally all of itself, until it is a stump. And so I saw this thing, and it said, the tree set some boundaries and was happy. And for me, I was like, I love this, because I don't know about you guys, but that's not the only message that I got growing up, that, especially as women, but for sure, overall, that love needed to be this selfless thing. Like when you're a mom or in your relationship, you give everything, all of your apples, all of your leaves, all of your stuff. And that's how I had to untrain myself from that, because the reality of it is the more that I did that, the worse my life got. And it wasn't even serving the people that I loved. It wasn't until I started stopping and going, hey, I can't pour from an empty cup. If I pour all of myself out, I'll be this empty shell of a woman. And nobody wants to be with an empty shell of a woman, not even myself. And so I was like, okay, what do I need to do different? And I got that I needed to show up for myself in the way that I was showing up for other people. I needed to love myself the way I was loving other people. I needed to provide myself the loving, the nurturing, the caring for, putting myself as a priority, cherishing who I was as a person. I could provide all of that for myself. I was doing it for other people. Why wasn't I doing it for myself? And the more I did it for myself, it's really amazing. Actually, more and more people are able to actually love me, and I can feel it. Whereas before it was like, I needed to, I had to prove it. There was all of these, in order to's, if someone's going to love me, in order for somebody to love me, I have to be like this, say like this, look like this. These were all my things, not other people telling me. These were mine. right? I had to be the best mom. I had to never lose my temper. I'm like, these were the rules for me to be loved. And literally when I look at them, I mean, it was like, no wonder I never felt loved, because the rules were so intense. But here, what if this is the rule? What if this is the rule? All you have to do is to be loved is breathe in and out and just be yourself. Your whole self. Yourself who sometimes maybe farts in the morning. Yourself who trips on nothing and flies and falls down in a hotel hallway. Yourself who, and yeah, that one was me. Yourself who maybe has yelled at your kids, or maybe, right? Or yourself who totally freaking lost it, like, and started screaming their head off in a public place. Whatever that is, right? We think, oh no, see, now we're bad. We don't deserve any of that. But what if we do? What if all you have to do to be lovable is breathe in and out? And I always go back to a baby. Literally babies, right? Babies, you get them, you hold them, you love them. They poop on you, they pee on you, sometimes, and they barf on you. Like, I've had all those things happen to me. And yet I loved that baby. All the baby had to do was smile. Well, not smile. All the baby had to do was breathe in and out. It was a bonus when it smiled, right? But sometimes kids, like, they do stuff and you don't appreciate it, but you still love them. But what if we had that same kind of feel for ourselves? What if we loved ourselves no matter what? And then guess what? Here's the cool thing. Some of my behaviors that, like, I didn't love, like the yelling and things, as I have loved myself and made sure I fill up my own cup, and I am doing good over here, inside here, how I feel here, right? Like, how I feel over here is all full up and I'm just feeling great. The way I show up for my family, the way I show up in my relationship, dramatically different. The way I show up in my business. And so, those boundaries, when I first started making them, were hard. Statements like, I feel like this, and I want my relationship to look like this, and I want this. Like, even though I felt like I was a master communicator, I wasn't communicating like that. I was communicating in little, like, ways that didn't work. So these are the ways that I recommend starting. If you're like, okay, you got me. I want to be the tree that sets the boundary and is happy. Because I believe you can love absolutely full out, 100% love, but you still set those boundaries so that your cup is always full. So this is how I help my cup to stay full. I ask myself a lot, what do I want here? How do I want this to go? And I make statements in my relationships like, I feel, I want, you know what I mean? And this is the key here. I stopped, after I do it, I say, like, if I want, like, hey, I would really love some foot rubs this week. And then I don't say anything else. I don't like, hey, how about if when we're watching TV and then like this and then we do it like this? And that's how I used to do it. I used to try to control the whole process. And it wasn't a matter of me being a control freak. It was me being scared that nobody would really show up and love me. And so as I've just started saying the things I want and then stopping, and then they figure out how they want to show up, how they want to do it. Guess what? I'm happier and my cup is fuller. So the I want, I feel, those are huge for me. Another thing I do is I actually schedule things that work for me. So see these pretty nails? I schedule that. I have my nail appointment every month, right? I have massages, well, now every week with the chiropractic care and the like rehab with the accident and stuff. But I, even before, like I'm a believer in scheduling massages. Things that make me feel good, a lunch out with a friend, whatever it is. I literally schedule that stuff because guess what? All of us can get busy. All of us can get like sidetracked if we don't put that as a priority. And when we schedule these things, at least for me, when somebody else is involved, I show up, right? I'm not going to cancel on my manicurist, but what does this provide me, right? It provides me some happiness, some glitter, and it continues to provide it, right? So those are the two ways. Starting with those statements, I want, I feel, and then let them figure it out. And then from there, making sure I schedule my self-care, schedule the things that help put me as a priority, help me to feel good. Oh, and I also have a coach. I have a coach that I work with as far as how I'm feeling, you know, where I'm going, like my energy, because I want to make sure my energy is always in the direction I want to go, that I am creating the life that I want all the time, actively creating the life that I am committed to all the time, every day, right? So I'm a big believer in that. If you guys are like, ooh, I have been like, hey, I would love to be more in your energy. I would love to do sessions with you. I would love all this. If you're an entrepreneur that is stuck, you've been working and maybe something's not working anymore, or you're starting and you've gotten a ways and you're still stuck, like I am doing entrepreneurial problem solving sessions. That is a tongue twister. And it's my skill set. I've helped people to double their incomes. I've helped people to cut their hours. I've helped people to start to charge what it is that their service is actually worth. So they're working less and making more. So that's the kind of thing. I'm really great at systems. I'm really great at maximizing things. So if that's for you, message me. We can get together on this. And they're just one-off sessions. If you guys are like, I want to make sure I see these shows all the time, I miss them because I'm busy and totally get it. Loveableaf.com/show, and you guys can sign up and I send out the weekly wrap-ups, the links to the YouTube videos, the whole shebang. All right, in case nobody has told you yet today, you are lovable as fuck just the way you are. And please join me in being that tree that says, hey, no, you can't have all my stuff. Here's an apple, here's a branch, right? Please join me in keeping your cup full. I will see you guys tomorrow.